Hello YouTube, the Comic Chief is here, and today we will be reviewing Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 1. And that's Legacy number 25. If you didn't know, yep, this was a comic back in the day. So when I first heard about this, I was like, what the hell? Another Spider-Man title? I did own a couple of the Back in Black issues that came out in the 2000s. There were 24 Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Mans released back in the day, and yeah. But to be honest, I only read Amazing Spider-Man religiously, and I actually didn't get into Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man until Spider-Geddon. And when I found out that was ending, I was sad, because I actually like that better than ASM currently. So I decided to give this one a try because Tom Taylor was the man behind this title. I've read a little bit of X-Men Red and I thought it was fantastic, and the work he did on the Hunt for Wolverine tie-ins, well, it was just okay. But I really liked him in Boom's Power Rangers Annual, so let's get on with it. The art is great, win. The writing was also pretty good, and it was a breath of fresh air from Spider-Geddon. The plot was great for a first issue, and it was actually the epilogue that is drawing me in for more. So the character development wasn't really much to brag about. I know Peter, I know Spider-Man. I feel like something could have been done to move this forward, or something done differently, so I don't know. The price. Let's talk about the price. At $4.99, I have to say no. Come on, Marvel, you don't have to bump up a price tag just because it's issue number 1. With as many times as you do a number 1, relaunch, reboot, new volume, that's a lot of number 1s, and I don't like the fact that I paid that extra dollar, so no. This premiere issue is a mere 3 out of 5 for me. Yikes, my lowest yet. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the story. We start off in Liberty Island in New York and Spider-Man swinging through the city. And there's a 2-page spread which happens to actually already be my favorite page in the book, or pages. Because for a first issue, we can see that Spider-Man is reflecting on what he's gone through up until this point. We see reflections or images of all the major events he's gone through his life as Spider-Man. And good, bad, so on and so forth. As he is swinging through the city, he saves a family from a van on the verge of falling off a tall building. Like I said, this is a nice change of pace from Spider-Geddon. There's no evil villain here or epic battle. It's just Spider-Man doing his due diligence and helping the family and saving them from death. After he saves the father and his daughter, he finds out that they just moved in the area. And when they offer to pay him for his efforts, he politely declines, even though he's broke Peter and needs the money, and tells them to give it to his neighborhood friends that could use the money more. So this small opening act tells us this is what the title is all about. It's not about saving the multiverse, or the universe, or the world, or the city from mass destruction, at least not yet, not that I know of. It's about his hood, his neighborhood. So later we find Peter Parker arriving at his apartment building, and we actually get to know his neighbors a little bit more. He helps his landlady Marnie in with groceries, and the entire situation was a setup because she has him deliver apples to a new tenant in the building. As Peter knocks on the door, he finds a slightly distressed woman named Leilani. We learn she was interested in talking to Peter because she heard that he knew Spider-Man and could use his help. She has a problem with a powerful man, but can't go to the police because he hurts everyone no matter what. Peter offers to grab her lunch so they could talk about it more. So he leaves the apartment building and heads towards the deli, and he runs into friends Gracie and Jose, who came into the money from the man Spider-Man saved earlier in the issue. They are extremely happy, and while they didn't have much, they wanted to share it with Peter because, well, I guess Peter's an amazing guy, just like Spider-Man, and they were genuinely nice people. So they offer to buy him hot dogs from a man named Gary. Alright, moments later, Peter arrives back at the apartment building with food for Leilani and notices 2 cars parked weird outside the building. As he hurries to Leilani's apartment, he runs into a bunch of men dressed in suits. As Peter tries to intervene, his spidey sense goes off, and all of a sudden he gets knocked out! So what the heck has enough power to knock him out like that? Peter blacks out. He wakes up to Marnie and Randy, groggy, Leilani's missing, and he's confused as to who would have been able to knock him out like that. As he gets to his apartment door, he says his and Randy's room had been invaded. And at that moment I thought the thugs robbed his apartment too, but when Peter opened the door, it turned out he had a third roommate named Fred who was more inconsiderate than Thanos. I laughed. Peter starts to get dressed in his Spider-Man outfit, and he notices a laundry basket moving in his room. As he reaches for the basket, two children, one boy and one girl with blue eyes, are revealed. What a great first issue, because it left us on a cliffhanger. I felt unsatisfied, wanting more. So I read the editorial from Nick Lowe, and it told me to turn the page. We had another story, and to me, a better story that gave me all the feels. I was actually not going to keep Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man on my pull list and just grab it on the cheap later, but I have to tune in bi-weekly to figure out what's going on with this side story. So we find Aunt May writing Peter a letter, and the letter is read as a narration while we watch Spider-Man and Mary Jane dressed as Spider-Woman swinging around New York with Peter. They spend the day together, having a great day, watching the sunset, and when Peter comes home to the apartment, he finds an oddly acting Aunt May rushing out to run an errand. So we continue to follow May's narration as Spider-Man is battling small-time bullies and helping neighborhood kids out. And then we cut to a page with Mayor Fisk talking to the press outside of McCarthy Medical Institute. May Parker isn't intimidated by Kingpin and tells the press that he's a criminal and a thug. It's kind of awesome because she stands up to Kingpin, as large as he is, and said that she has larger things to deal with today than him. Wow. Next, we cut to pages of May sitting in a waiting room, purposely ignoring Peter's phone calls, and the last page reveals she is sitting at the Maria Cancer Center, and they found a lump a few weeks ago. All the feels. So Tom Story also wrote this and didn't draw it, but it was drawn by somebody else. And I thought this was better than the main story. I kind of wish that they integrated this into the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, but I get it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 2. So I guess I'm going to keep it on my pull list just because of that short story. Even though I gave it a 3 out of 5. So yeah, let me know if you agree, YouTube. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is the Comic Chief going offline.